Welcome back. In this video, we are considering Python variables, their naming rules, and how we can use them effectively. A Python variable is a reserved memory location to store values. Now, before we go ahead and talk about some of the basic rules to consider in Python variables, let's first talk about the equal sign over here in Python or in any other programming language. Now, when you see this equal to in most programming languages or in Python, it's entirely different from the equal sign we see in our basic math class. Now, this equal to here means it's an assignment operator. It means you are assigning a value to a variable or something. Now, Python variables cannot use just any names. For example, you can't name your variable if and assign it to a number like 5. Now, when you do this, you are going to get a syntax error. This is because the if over here is a reserved word in Python and is going to be used for other operations, not variable naming. So let's choose another name, let's say x, and now let's assign 5 to x. Now we can go ahead and print x like this. So we have 5 being printed out over here. Now this is because we have a value which is 5, and that value has been assigned or has been stored to a memory location x. So anywhere we print this x, 5 will appear on the screen. Variable names cannot contain spaces. So for example, you can't say first, give a space and say first number equals 50. This is also a syntax error. Rather, if you want to join two names together to form one variable, what you can do is use the underscore, or you can make use of capital letters. For example, you can say first underscore number equals 50. This is correct. Some programmers will like to do first, then a capital and number equals 100. This is acceptable. So we can go ahead, print first underscore number, and there we are, 50. Also, we can print first number with a capital N, and we are, I spelled number wrong. Let's do again, print first number. This time I got it right, and we are good to go. We have 100 over there. So again, in Python, you can't have spaces in your variables. Now, a variable name cannot start with a number. For example, I can't say 1x equals 100. This will give me another syntax error. This is because you can't start naming a variable in Python with a number. Now, in Python, case sensitivity is very high in naming variables. So if you have a variable like fi equals 100 and another variable like capital Fi equals 200, these are entirely two different variables because this starts with a small f and this one starts with a capital F. So these two variables are entirely different. Variables in Python can be capital letters. Okay, so let's say we have a variable like message, all in caps, and this time around we are going to assign our variable to string. So we can say message equals hey, that was yours. So we have some strings here being assigned to a variable message in capital letter. And remember, because all are caps, we can't print message like this because, as I said earlier on, variable naming is very case sensitive. So we have to print it just as we wrote it. So you can say print message and we are good to go. Hey, that was yours being printed out on the screen. Now, variables in Python can also start with an underscore. So you can have underscore name equals read of, and that is fine. Okay, now we can go ahead, print underscore name, and we are good to go. We have read of being printed on the screen. Another rule is that a variable in Python can't be only numbers. So you can say 1 2 3 and assign that to, let's say, even strings like this is yours. All right, this will give us a syntax error because you started your variable with a number which is 1, or you can't even do 1 and say first name equals Alex. That is also a syntax error, right? But rather you can end with a number. So you can say first name 1 equals Alex, and with that you are good to go. Now we can print first name 1 and we have Alex being displayed on the screen. Now, one thing you should consider or you should keep in mind is that make sure that anytime you are naming a variable, you make it very informative. For example, instead of saying x equals Alex, it's better you say maybe first name equals Alex. All right, so with this you are being informative, you are being clear, you are telling the person that Alex is your first name instead of doing x equals Alex. Okay, I'll end this video tutorial here. Hope you enjoy that and have a wonderful day.